Two families live on the same street, same incomes, same kind of jobs, same paychecks landing on the same day. 10 years later, one of them quietly owns their home and has money working for them in the background. The other is still stretched thin, one surprise bill away from panic, wondering where it all went. The strange part is that the second family never felt reckless. They never blew their money on anything crazy. They just leaked it slowly. Through a handful of ordinary, respectable, completely normal purchases that everyone around them was making too. That is the quiet trap of the middle class. It is rarely one big disaster. It is a steady drip of small, socially approved spending that feels totally fine in the moment and quietly drains the exact money that could have made you wealthy. In this video, Clara walks you through 10 things the middle class wastes money on without even noticing. Almost never. Some of these are going to sting a little, because you are probably doing at least 3 of them right now. This is not about judgment, and it is not about never spending. It is about seeing the leaks clearly, so you get to decide where your money goes, instead of the world deciding for you. Number 8 is the one almost nobody thinks of as wasting money at all. So let us count down the quiet leaks, starting with the one hiding on your phone right now. Number 1, the subscription swarm. Once upon a time, you paid for a thing once and you owned it. Today, almost everything is a monthly fee that quietly renews forever, whether you use it or not. A few streaming services for video, a couple for music, cloud storage, a fitness app you open twice, a meal kit, a news site, a premium this, a plus that. Each one feels tiny. $10 here, $15 there. That is exactly why it works on you. No single charge is big enough to make you stop and cancel. But add them up, and the typical household is bleeding well over $150 a month on subscriptions, often closer to $200. That is around $2,000 to $2,400 a year for a pile of services you could not possibly use all of. This is death by 1,000 tiny cuts, and the companies designed it that way. They count on you forgetting. They count on the free trial you never canceled. They count on the renewal you do not even see on the statement anymore. Here is the quiet wealth move. Once a year, sit down and look at every recurring charge on your accounts. Be honest about which ones you actually used in the last month. Cancel the rest without guilt. You can always come back. Most people find $100 or $200 a month hiding in plain sight. Money that was leaving every single month for absolutely nothing. Number 2, the forever car payment. This is the big one, and it is dressed up as success. A shiny new car in the driveway feels like proof that you have made it. But for most middle-class families, that new car is one of the fastest ways to stay broke while looking rich. Here is the math nobody likes. A new car loses a huge chunk of its value the moment you drive it off the lot and keeps dropping for years. You are paying premium prices for an asset that is shrinking every single day. Worse, people trade up every 3 or 4 years, rolling the old loan into the new one, so they are never not making a car payment. It becomes a permanent bill. A payment for life, with full coverage insurance on top, that now averages well over $2,600 a year. Meanwhile, the quietly wealthy person buys a reliable used car that is a few years old, lets someone else eat that brutal first hit of depreciation, and then drives it for 10 years with no payment at all. Same job, same commute. They just kept tens of thousands of dollars over a lifetime. And they sleep fine without a luxury badge on the hood. A car is transportation. The moment you turn it into a status symbol on a 7-year loan, it stops moving you forward financially and starts dragging you backward. Number 3, brand names for basic stuff. Marketing has trained us to believe that the expensive version is always the better version. And for a few things, sure, quality matters. But for a huge slice of everyday life, you are simply paying extra for a logo and a nicer package, while the product inside is nearly identical. Think about the basics. Over-the-counter medicine, where the store brand has the exact same active ingredient as the famous one, often made in the same factory for half the price. Pantry staples like flour, sugar, salt, and cleaning supplies. Batteries, trash bags. Generic versions of all of these are usually just as good, sometimes literally the same product with a different label. The middle class pays the brand tax automatically, out of habit, without ever testing whether the cheaper option is actually worse. Most of the time, it is not. The wealthy ironically, are often the most comfortable buying generic because they have nothing to prove at the grocery store. The move is simple. Pick a few categories where the brand genuinely does not matter: medicine, basic food, household supplies, and switch to the store brand. You will not feel a difference in your life, but you will feel it in your bank account by the end of the year. Number 4, buy now, pay later. This one is newer and it is sneaky because it does not feel like debt at all. You are checking out online and a friendly little option appears. Split this into 4 easy payments, no interest. Why pay the whole thing today when you can barely feel it in small pieces? So you say yes, and then you say yes again on the next purchase, and the one after that. Soon you have a handful of these little plans running at once, all due on different days for things you have already half forgotten about. A pair of shoes, a gadget, a jacket, all quietly nibbling at every future paycheck. The danger is not always the interest. The danger is that buy now, pay later quietly disconnects the pain of spending from the joy of buying. When something feels almost free in the moment, you buy more, and you buy things you would never have bought if you had to feel the full price at once. Studies and your own wallet agree. People spend significantly more when the cost is sliced up and pushed into the future. The quiet wealth habit is the opposite. If you cannot comfortably buy it in full today, you do not buy it today. That single rule kills a whole category of regret purchases before they ever happen. Number 5, credit card interest. Credit cards are not the enemy. Carrying a balance on them is. And this is maybe the single most expensive habit on this entire list. When you do not pay the full balance, the card starts charging interest. And the rates are brutal, commonly somewhere between 18 and 25%. Think about what that means. The market, on a good long run, might grow your money around 7 to 10% a year, and we celebrate that. Your credit card is reliably taking 20% or more from you in the other direction. You are trying to fill a bucket while there is a hole in the bottom twice as big as the faucet. The credit industry quietly targets the middle class for exactly this reason. You earn enough to make the minimum payment every month, which keeps you in the game, but the minimum is designed so down 3 moves while the interest piles up for years. You can pay for a single vacation 3 times over and still owe for it. The move here is non-negotiable for building wealth. Pay the full balance every month always. If you are already carrying a balance, knocking it out becomes your top financial priority, ahead of almost everything else. Because almost nothing you can invest in will reliably beat the guaranteed 8% you save by killing that debt. Number 6, extended warranties. You are at the checkout buying a TV or a laptop or a blender, and the friendly voice asks, "Would you like to protect that for just a little extra?" It sounds responsible, it sounds safe. So you say yes, again and again on item after item. Here is what is really happening. An extended warranty is basically a bet, and the house almost always wins. The store is selling you insurance on something that, statistically, is very unlikely to break inside the covered window, and if it does, the payout is often capped or buried in fine print. These plans are so profitable that salespeople are frequently pushed hard to sell them, because the store keeps most of the money. For most everyday electronics and appliances, the smarter approach is to skip the warranty and simply trust the math. Modern products are pretty reliable. Many already come with a manufacturer warranty, and your credit card may even extend it for free. On the rare chance something fails, you usually come out ahead by having saved all those warranty fees you never spent across dozens of purchases. Self-insure the small stuff. Keep a little cushion of savings for the occasional broken gadget, and stop paying a premium every time to soothe the worry that rarely comes true. Number 7, the convenience tax. This is the slow leak everyone laughs off, and it is bigger than people think. It is the daily coffee bought instead of made, the lunch ordered instead of packed, the delivery app that adds a service fee, a delivery fee, a small cart fee, and a tip, turning a $12 meal into a $25 one. The convenience store run where everything costs a little more because it is right there. Now, this is not the old lecture about how one coffee is ruining your life. One coffee is fine. The problem is the pattern, the autopilot, doing the expensive convenient thing many times a week, every week, without ever noticing the total. A few dollars of convenience, repeated 500 times a year, quietly becomes thousands of dollars, spent on things that gave you a small shrug of pleasure and nothing lasting. The quietly wealthy are not against convenience. They just spend it on purpose, for things that truly save them time or bring real joy, instead of leaking it by default on autopilot. The move is awareness, not deprivation. Pick the 1 or 2 convenience habits that are pure autopilot for you, and turn them back into deliberate choices. Keep the ones you love, cut the ones you do not even taste anymore, and watch how much that quietly frees up. Number 8, lazy money. This is the one almost nobody counts as wasting money. Most of this list is about money going out. This one is about money just sitting there, doing nothing, quietly losing value while you feel responsible for saving it. Here is the trap. The middle class often keeps its savings in a basic checking or savings account, paying almost nothing, a tiny fraction of a percent. It feels safe. It feels smart. But inflation is steadily eating the buying power of that money every single year. So your pile of cash slowly shrinks in real terms, even though the number on the screen never drops. That is a quiet loss you never see on any statement. And it can cost you more than all the lotties combined. Wasting money is not only about spending it foolishly, it is also about letting it sit idle when it could be working. A high-yield savings account pays many times more than a normal one, for the exact same safety and easy access, and money you will not need for years belongs in simple, accessible investments where it can actually grow, instead of slowly melting in a drawer. The move is to put your money to work according to when you will need it. Cash you might need soon goes into a high-yield account, not a lazy one. Money for the long run goes to work in the market. Idle money is not safe money. It is quietly shrinking money. Number 9, too much house. A home is supposed to be the foundation of middle-class wealth, but the way many people buy it turns it into the very thing that keeps them poor. They stretch to the absolute maximum the bank will approve. Because the bank said yes, so it must be fine, right? Here is the catch. The bank approves you based on what you can technically pay, not what leaves you room to live and build wealth. So people end up house poor, with a beautiful home and almost nothing left over each month, and the mortgage is only the start. A bigger house means bigger property taxes, bigger insurance, bigger utility bills, more furniture to fill empty rooms, and endless maintenance. Because something is always breaking in a large house. The quietly wealthy often do the opposite of what they can afford. They buy comfortably below their maximum, keep the monthly housing cost to a sane slice of their income, and pour the difference into investments that actually grow. The same family in a slightly smaller home can end up far richer, simply because the house was a place to live instead of a cage that ate every spare dollar. Buy the home that fits your life and leaves room to build wealth, not the biggest one a lender is willing to gamble on. Number 10, the lottery and the get-rich-quick dream. When money feels tight, the fantasy of a sudden windfall gets very tempting. A few lottery tickets here, a scratch card there, a little money thrown at whatever is being hyped as the next overnight fortune. It feels like hope. It feels like a shortcut. But look at the math honestly. The lottery is, by design, a system where most of the money handed in never comes back to the players. The odds of a life-changing jackpot are so small they are basically zero. And study after study shows it is often the people who can least afford it who spend the most on it, chasing a rescue that almost never arrives. The same goes for every get-rich-quick scheme that promises to turn a little into a lot fast. The house, whoever the house is, always wins. The painful truth and the freeing one is that there is no shortcut, and you do not need one. Real wealth is almost always built the boring way, by plugging the leaks in this video and quietly, patiently investing the difference for years. That is not as exciting as a jackpot. It is just the thing that actually works. Spending on the dream of fast money is the opposite of building real money. Skip the ticket and pay your future self instead. So there they are, 10 quiet leaks, the subscription swarm, the forever car payment, brand names for basic stuff, buy now, pay later, credit card interest, extended warranties, the convenience tax, lazy money, too much house, and the lottery dream. Notice the pattern. Almost none of these feel like wasting money in the moment. Each one is normal, respectable, and quietly approved by everyone around you. That is exactly why they work, and exactly why plugging them is so powerful. You do not need a bigger income to fix most of this. You just need to see the leaks and decide to close them. You do not have to fix all 10 at once. Pick the 2 that hit hardest for you, the ones that made you a little uncomfortable, and start there this week. Then send the money you free up somewhere that actually builds your future. Small leaks, closed on purpose, quietly turn into real wealth over time. If this helped you see where your money has been quietly going, do Clara a favor and subscribe so the next one finds you. And tell me down in the comments, which of these 10 are you guilty of? Be honest, we are all guilty of at least one. Until next time, keep it quiet, keep it simple, and keep your money working for you.